The wrong turn. It was late and I was exhausted. The road stretched on endlessly, a dark ribbon cutting through the dense woods. The GPS had stopped working miles back, leaving me guessing which way was home. When a narrow, unmarked road appeared on my right, I hesitated. It was supposed to lead back to the highway, but it didn't look familiar. Still, I was desperate to get out of these woods and back onto the main road. I took the turn. Almost immediately, I regretted it. The road was rough, filled with deep potholes, and so narrow that branches scraped against the sides of the car. The trees loomed closer, pressing in like walls. My headlights barely cut through the darkness, revealing only more trees and shadows that seemed to stretch and shift with every turn. Then I saw it. A figure was standing in the middle of the road, caught in my headlights. It was a woman dressed in a simple, tattered white dress, her hair hanging in tangled clumps down to her shoulders. She was barefoot, her skin pale as bone. She didn't move, just stood there, staring directly at me, unblinking. I hit the brakes, heart pounding. "Do you need help?" I called, my voice shaky as I cracked the window. No response. She just stared at me, her head tilting slightly as if she was studying me. I gripped the wheel, suddenly aware of how isolated I was. My mind screamed to reverse, to get out of there. But before I could put the car in gear, she started moving. Slowly, methodically, she walked toward the passenger side door, her bare feet making no sound on the gravel. I felt paralyzed, trapped in my own car as she reached out and placed her hand on the window. Her fingers were long and thin, almost skeletal, pressing against the glass with a quiet but intense pressure. Her face was so close that I could see the dark hollows under her eyes that seemed to pierce right through me. "Let me in," she whispered, her voice soft but chilling. "No," I managed to say, more to myself than to her. My heart was pounding so hard it hurt. I threw the car into reverse, eyes flicking between her and the rearview mirror as I tried to back up. But the car lurched and shuddered. The tires seemed to catch on something as if they'd sunk into the ground. I looked back, desperate. She was still there, her face almost pressed to the glass, her dark eyes boring into mine. "You took the wrong turn," she whispered again, her voice rasping like dead leaves scraping against concrete. With a strangled cry, I hit the gas, forcing the car backward. The tires finally caught, and I sped down the narrow road without looking back. Only once I'd reached the main highway did I dare to glance in the rearview mirror. But she was gone. The road behind me was empty. Yet somehow I knew I hadn't left her behind.